Well, actually, this title was the beginning of the story for me. We Are Water, I didn't know what that meant, but I had heard it in an American musical that I saw off Broadway in New York. And I wrote it down on a program. The song is by a singer named Patty Griffin. And for about a year, I was playing with that riddle. We are water. What does that mean? And then about a year into it, I was working on other projects, but I kept looking at We Are Water. And about a year into it, I recalled something that I had observed when I was a child in my hometown, and that was a devastating flood, a terrible flood that destroyed much of the downtown shopping area and took 5 people's lives. And I have very vivid memories of that, not only visual memories, but also sound memories of the water rushing past in my ears. And so I put those two things together, and I was off and running with the story. No, the form sort of came in the process of writing the novel. I started by investigating a marriage that had fallen apart. And so from the start, I knew I wanted to write in the voice of Orion, the ex-husband, and Annie, his troubled ex-wife. And so that much I had. And I think in the early stages, I thought it was going to be a back and forth just between those two characters. But I never write with a game plan. I once heard a quote from John Irving, who said, "Of course you have to know how the story is going to end before you begin the story." And that's true for him maybe, but not for me. So it's a daily discovery process for me. And so that tandem thing going on between those two characters suddenly gets interrupted by other characters who wanted to speak. For writing for me is more work than pleasure, but I get my pleasure from surprises that happen, things that I'm not expecting, and so I just follow these paths that weren't necessarily part of any game plan. During my workday, I live in a fictional world, but I also live in the real world. So as gay marriage was becoming more acceptable in our country, and particularly in Connecticut where I live, one of my very best friends and oldest friends is a woman who is a lesbian who never thought that she would be able to marry her partner in her own lifetime. And so that was very much in my mind, that sort of breakthrough for her. In fact, I was the best man at her wedding. So that's, those things are happening when in my non-working hours. And, the fact that we had elected a black president, and that was right at the start of my writing of this story. And suddenly I was hearing things about America that, oh, now we are a post-racial country. And it's like, wait a minute, you can't just dismiss all those years of slavery and all the injustices of people of color. And so, so that became part of the investigative process as well.